of UK82. Hey everybody, welcome back to the shit show. This week we're gonna bring back the next episode of a series we started last season. The ABC, the UK82, yeah. This is probably like the #1 most requested video that I got from when I was like off for the summer not making videos. I had a couple people being like, hey man, when you making the next fucking installment of the UK82 videos, buddy? And so it's like right now is the time. And this brings us up to the letter E, a wonderful letter in our fucking alphabetical system that brings us many great bands of the fucking era. If you're new around these parts or just don't remember how I'm gonna define UK82 for this video series, it's basically any punk rock that came out of fucking the UK in the fucking early 80s. That's basically what I'm going for. So there'll be the spiky hair street punk shit, there'll be the anarcho shit, and whatever the hell else was going on in punk rock in the early 80s in the UK. Got it? That's what we're doing. Also, we're only going through singles in this series, right? There's a ton of great bands that only put out 12 inches in that era, like the English Dogs. Killer band will not be appearing in this episode since they didn't put out any 7-inchers in that fucking era. Also, this is obviously limited to what I actually own. It's not a fucking comprehensive list. I can only show you what I already got. So another one who won't be appearing today, even though they should, The Ejected. They've got a couple cool 7-inches that should be in my collection, that should be in this video, but I just ain't found those fuckers yet. I got their 2 LPs though. They're fucking sick. Anyway, that's it. That's all the rules. UK punk rock, early 80s. 7-inch format, shit that I own. Starting with the letter E, and if you're sitting there wondering, what the fuck is this long-haired douchebag doing trying to tell me about spiky hair shit? Eat a dick! If the Ramones can fucking have long hair and be punk rock, so can I. Fuck yo. And as always, I'm gonna have links in the comments so you can hear fucking samples of all these records. Check out the tunes. If something sounds interesting, go down and fucking click on that shit. Check it out. Go through the whole fucking list. I think all of this shit is good, otherwise I would have sold it off or traded it away, right? Fucking top-notch tunes coming your way. Dig it. Or if you're truly adventurous, you can do it like we did back in the day and just fucking buy the thing and hope that it's good, because you couldn't go on YouTube and preview that shit.
The choice is yours.
Let's go! Alright, we're gonna start this shit off with the band named Emergency and their Points of View record. This came out in 1983 on Riot City Records. Riot number 21! The fucking great Riot City Records, right? Riot City Records and No Future Records for me are like the top 2 fucking labels of this whole shit. I'm sure you had some of your biggest bands, Exploited, Discharge, GBH, were on Secret and Clay respectively, but those labels also fucking had heavy metal shit and other kind of shit on the label. Whereas Riot City and No Future, they were putting out only punk rock shit. Only, you know? And every goddamn record's a winner. Almost. Anyway, Emergency came at you out of Manchester. They formed out of the ashes of a band called The Hoax, who was also pretty fucking rad. They put out an LP and a couple 7-inches that are all pretty fucking good too. And I'm quite certain that this band, Emergency, is the exact same band as The Hoax, just with a different singer. I think I heard somewhere these guys were like real good homies with Blitz. And Emergency gives us 3 fucking great punk rock tunes. They're fucking coming with like real big angelic upstarts vibes. Really good stuff. Kinda sounds like these guys were slightly older, or at least a little more musically proficient than a lot of the bands on Riot City at the time. Good tunes, played well. This is the only record they put out back in the day, though they did get back together sometime in the late 90s and early 2000s and put some new shit out, which I have not heard yet. So maybe I should go check it out, because this shit rules. Emergency Points of View, good one. Up next, we got The Enemy out of Derby, who put out 5 singles between the years of 1981 and 1984. They started off with this one in 1981. 50,000 Dead on the A side, 2 songs on the B side. This is on 1010 Records. This is the only record on 1010 Records, which makes me think it's self-released, though they did get distribution through Fresh Records. These 3 tunes are like mid-tempo punk rock numbers with gruff vocals, but over like simple melodic verses that'll then burst out into your like sing-along, chant-along fucking choruses. Pretty basic, but effective. Kind of comes off like a shittier teenage Sham 69 at times. And as always, I use the term shittier with love and respect. It's not necessarily a bad thing. For their next single, the boys would sign with Fallout Records, actually releasing the very first Fallout record, their Fallen Hero single. Fallout Records was cool, had a pretty good life, put out a lot of cool shit by like the Addicts, UK Subs, Broken Bones, Action Packed, a lot of cool shit on that label, including The Enemy. 3 more quality punk rock tunes on this one. They do in fact have one beret punk in this band, an interesting subset of punk rockers, maybe even more rare than mustache punks is the beret punks. That may be a video for the future. Beret punks, man. Wow, that's a good idea. What beret punks can you think of? Name them off in the fucking comments, right? You know, Captain Sensible, of course. I know one of the dudes in MIA would hit a beret up once in a while. Crude. Who else you got? Beret punks. That shit's special. Anyway, back to The Enemy, right? Their sound, songwriting, and proficiency would progress a little bit with each release. And their third single, Punks Alive, is a little bit peppier, a little bit catchier, and just like the yellow vinyl it came on, a little bit brighter. Punks Alive is a good number. Fallout Records number 4 from 1982. Thanks to Slaughter and the Dogs, all the lads at Herney Bay, all the punks who've written to us, and to all the punks and skins who bought this record. You're welcome! Thank you, The Enemy! Up next from 1983, also on Fallout, Last Rites. And this tune, Last Rites, is probably their toughest A-side so far. And the B-side is probably their fastest and hardest B-side too. This one's a bit of a jammer, man. Got that artwork from the LP on the label there. Pretty hot shit. Yo, check out that hair though. Pioneering in the poofy hawk sector. And this poofy flucky hawk here looks pretty red. This poofy fluffy flat top looking thing is a little weird though. Regardless, cool cover, cool band, cool single. In 1984, they moved over to the great Rot Records and released the last but not least single from their album of the same name. This is S9. I dig this tune, last but not least. It's fucking good, catchy punk rock shit. B-sides, a live track, images. And you can tell on this one after the couple years of them playing, man, the dude's grown as a fucking singer. The band is writing better and playing better. It's good shit. As I think I mentioned, they did put out 2 fucking LPs in this same time period, and they reformed sometime in the early 2000s and put out one more 7-inch that I've not heard yet, that one day we'll have to check out. Yeah. If I had to pick my favorites out of these 5s, it's probably gonna be the last 2, man. But Punks Alive's pretty good too. They're all pretty good. Next up, Eraserhead. I got 3 singles here they put out between 1981 and 1983. They do have like 3 other singles that came out in that era that I do not have yet, and they put out a couple LPs too. But these are the 3 I got to show 7-inch wise. Eraserhead is not your standard UK82 shit. No, they are just here because they were in the right place at the right time to be associated with the rest of this shit. But sound-wise, this is fucking straight up Ramones worship shit, man. And you know I got a thing for the Ramones. So this is welcome. Eraserhead came out of East London and are 100% way influenced by that 70s New York punk Ramones sound more than anything else. And they pull the style off fairly well. Slightly less charismatic vocals than old Joey, but what the fuck, who can compete with Joey? It's quality, early Ramones core. Is that what they call it nowadays? Ramones core? Good shit though. This first one came out in 1981 on Test Pressings Records. Test Pressings only put out a couple records, man. They did one by the Nips, that's awesome. They did a pretty good Charge single on Test Pressings. And they did this. On here you get 3 tracks: Ape Man, Rock and Roll Zombie, and Wipeout. Already done told you what it sounds like. Pretty good early 80s UK Ramones worship shit, man. It's cool. Next up from 1982, we got Shell Shock. For this one, they moved over to Flick Knife Records. Flick Knife also put out a bunch of other cool shit like Major Accident, Instant Agony, Ad Nauseum, and a ton of like Hawkwind related shit. And that's where Eraserhead stuck around for a while. The A-side Shell Shock and the B-side Chicken Dance are both fucking catchy poppy punk numbers. Ramones style winners. Dig it. Last one I got by them came out in 1983 again on Flick Knife Records. This one's got Werewolf on the A-side and a new version of Rock and Roll Zombie on the B-side. An earlier version of Rock and Roll Zombie also appeared on that first 7-inch I showed by these guys. 2 more fine numbers from the boys. If you dig that Ramones sound of Razorhead's definitely worth checking out. I know I'll track down the rest of their fucking singles eventually because I dig them all so far, and they're all usually pretty cheap, these guys. So that's a bonus. Out of these three, I think these first two are best. Fucking Ape Man and Shell Shock, fucking hot numbers, man. But ain't nothing wrong with Wolfman, he's cool too. I just be trying to show you guys my favorites instead of being like, buy these 5 fucking records. It's like, this is the best one. Maybe, whatever. Just listen to the shit and figure it out yourself. Up next, we got Exit Stance with the Crime Against Humanity EP. This came out in 1984 on Fight Back Records. Fight Back Records was a sub-label of Motorhead Conflict's label, and if the Conflict Association didn't already tip you off, this one falls more into the anarcho-punk side of things. These guys were from Milton Keynes, which apparently is a place, not a dude, and they give us 3 fucking angry tunes of dark and heavy anarcho punk for fans of like Conflict, Anti-Sect, Subhumans, that kind of shit. Real cool record. I dig this fucking back cover artwork, man. I think I like the 2 songs on the B-side more than I like the fucking A-side number, but I dig the whole thing overall for goddamn sure. These guys also put out a 12-inch on Fight Back in 1985 that I'm missing and gotta get my hands on. And like a bunch of these other groups we're talking about today, they did get back together and have some more recent releases out, which I have not heard yet. But this old shit is hot. Up next, The Expelled from Leeds. They put out these 2 incredible singles on Riot City Records in 1982. Here's the first one, No Life, No Future EP, Riot number 8. The second one, Government Policy, Riot 17. Both from 1982, but with 2 different Riot City labels. Why they change it? I don't know. Get a gander of the group there, why don't ya? Hello. Man, I was trying to think of a different way to describe these records, but there's really no way around it. This band sounds like Vice Squad. Like a lot like Vice Squad. But like really good Vice Squad shit. Fucking great, catchy songs, and really good vocals courtesy of Joe! I love both of these singles. Really good. If you haven't tried out The Expelled, I recommend them. If you dig Vice Squad, you fucking have to hear this shit. Killer. Supposedly this band recorded a 12-inch for Riot City in 1984 that never got released, and that was like with one of the dudes singing after the chick left, but I don't know that those recordings ever seen the light of day yet. There is an LP of like demos and shit out that I should probably track down, because I really dig these 2 records. Good shit. Alright, up next, from Edinburgh, Scotland, The Exploited. We got 8 singles here released between 1980 and 1983. They also put out fucking 3 LPs in that time frame. Busy, busy boys. Man, what can be said about the damn Exploited? Well, a lot, actually, man. This is the band that coined the term UK82, which we have appropriated here to represent and title this entire scene of UK punk in the early 80s. Exploited were one of the biggest and the largest running bands from this scene, but also hard as fuck. And their singer Waddy caught a lot of flack from everybody at some point. The Anarchos were mad at him for going on top of the Pops. Pusshead got mad at him because he stole their skull. Punks got mad at him for going metal. The PCs got mad at him for singing about porno sluts and shit. And I ain't gonna try to say the man lived a perfect life by any means. But goddamn, he kept this band going forward all these years. And I'll be damned if I don't like every single record they put out. Notice this strange thing in the last fucking couple years for younger kids in the spiky-headed fucking punk community to write off The Exploited and not be into it. It's like, motherfucker, you're listening to the Casualties. Those guys fucking worship The Exploited. The fuck are you talking about? This shit rules. But whatever, like what you like. I'll just know that I'm righter than you. Anyway, let's get to the records. Army Life was their first single. It originally came out in 1980 on Exploited Record Company. I've got the 1981 secret pressing of it. Still hunting that original Exploited Record Company copy. Who's gonna hook me up? But anyway, they coming in hard for 1980. Along with like Discharge, man. These guys are pushing the boundaries and opening the fucking book on new fucking harder punk rock shit in the UK. Fucking Army Life. It's a great punk rock tune. Cool cover. Waddy does not have a mohawk yet. Couple different dudes than the classic lineup. Fuck the Mods on the B-side. With big, dumb, violent lyrics set to a super infectious, catchy sing-along punk tune. What more could you want? I like it all. I like to hear Exit Stand sing about some real shit, and I like to hear Waddy yell about some dumb shit too. Not that that's all The Exploited is about, because the lyrics to Army Life are fucking a real thing, man. But fuck the Mods, that shit's just funny. You also got Crashed Out on the B-side. 3 good tunes. Second record, Exploited Barmy Army with I Believe in Anarchy and What You Gonna Do on the B-side. This one I do have the original Exploited record co-press with that big old boot on top. Good shit. Waddy now starting to grow his mohawk. Pretty short here still. Exploited Barmy Army on the A-side is some more of those great fucking punk rock gang chant-along choruses going on. Then you got I Believe in Anarchy on the B-side. Fucking I Believe in Anarchy, man. It's a goddamn classic punk rock anthem. You got that homie Big John in the band now? Some fucking ass cheeks on the back there. Nostrils and shit. Big piss off to the Edinburgh Police on the bottom. 3 more great punk rock tracks, dude. Next single, Dogs of War. Now this one is the Exploited record company marketed by Secret Records. This is when their secret experience began, that they'd stick with for quite some time. Waddy's mohawk is now almost up to size, not quite. Crazy punk sunglasses picture. Fucking Dogs of War, man. Another great tune. B-side Blown to Bits is a decent live recording. This fucker went all the way up to number 2 on the British indie charts, man. Boys getting to the big time. Fucking Dogs of War are after you, man. Next one, 1981, Dead Cities. Secret Records. Fucking Dead Cities. God damn, this song rules. It's like just the fucking right mix of like hard ass shit and catchy shit. Man, B-side, you got Hitler's in the charts again. Slightly different feel for these guys from what we'd heard so far. Then Class War, straight up punk rock shit, fucking red. This thing here also came out in 1981, but this motherfucker is apparently a bootleg. It's a split with Antipasti. Fucking cool cover. Bootleggers tried to pass it off as like an original Exploited record company release, but that was some bullshit. The bands at the time told people not to fucking buy it. The Exploited shit is like live from the nightclub in Edinburgh, 81. Antipasti shit is some studio tapes. Pretty cool. The least of the singles I'm showing by these guys today. More of a collector's item than anything properly labeled. I dig that skull though. Look it up. Up next, 1982, Attack backed with Alternative. Fucking great single. Alternative has always been one of my favorite Exploited tracks. Some fucking dingleberry put stickers on the labels of my A-side. Cool cover. Great punk rock shit. Every single one of these has a fucking cool cover, man. That's one thing that not every band nails that I think helps certain bands. Having that fucking like right look, the right aesthetic, man. Exploited were firing on all cylinders, man. They were putting out a ton of shit, and it was all quality. Another one from 1982 on Secret, Computers Don't Blunder. I always thought that was a super weird title for a song, Computers Don't Blunder, but goddamn, it's a ripper. That's all I can ask for. Make it rip, Waddy. Make it fucking sick. The boys have done it again. The B-side addiction on this one's only okay. It's not like shitty or anything. It's just an alright punk track. Alright, in 1983 they moved over to Pax Records for the Rival Leaders EP. Got fucking Ronnie and his creepy friends on the cover there. This shit rules, man. It opens up with just this like wonderful, hilarious Waddy at the beginning that I fucking love. And this tune, Rival Leaders, never fucking stops from there. Holy shit. Non-stop charging hardcore punk blitzkrieg, man. Army Style's a good track. Sing Along a Bushel is a fucking top-notch diss track. Bushel said that punk was dead. Wanker! Fucking wanker. Shit's red. By this time we've got our classic Exploited skull there, right? Allegedly ripped off from the Mighty Puss head. Fucking cool looking though. And that's all I got for Exploited singles, man. After that they started kind of crossing over into the more metal-y shit, and they would put out 12-inch singles like metal people did instead of 7 inches. Maybe it was more of a mid-80s thing than a metal thing, I don't know. But you know, they always stayed their fucking punk rock shit the whole time. Even when they added that metal shit into their sound, Exploited always was undeniably punk at its fucking core. But anyway, that's all the 7 inches I got by them. And fucking every one of these is great early 80s UK hardcore punk shit, man. They got a bigger name than most of them for a reason. There's always just this gnarly air of fucking menace and anger boiling through these tracks, man. They're fucking all good. I could pick out a couple favorites, but you should just buy a fucking singles collection or something, man. Fucking classic, essential punk rock shit. Dig it. Alright, only one more band left in the E section, and it's a fucking good one. External Menace. Hailing from Coatbridge, Scotland, External Menace were fucking great, man. Here's their first one, the Youth of Today EP from 1982. This thing came out on the great fucking Beat the System records. Beat the System also put out shit by Uproar, One Way System, fucking Antisocial, Death Sentence and shit. Fucking cool label. And surely this is one of the fucking best records they ever put out. Fucking love this thing. Why do I love it, you say? Cause it's fucking great. All 4 songs are fucking awesome. It's fucking hard but tuneful punk rock shit. Well written and fucking well played. Easily one of the best records I've shown today, in my opinion. It's definitely one of my favorites anyway. Fucking great vocalist. 10 out of 10. Fucking get this shit. They followed it up with the No Views EP in 1983, also on Beat the System. 4 more fucking great tunes. Full fucking throttle, punk fucking rock shit. I like that first record a little better than this one, but this shit rules too. External fucking Menace, dude. And these 2 records are all they really did back in the 80s. They did get back together in the 90s and put out a bunch of more shit. They're still going now, man. I really need to check out some of their more modern shit. I haven't really checked into it at all. But I fucking love these 2 ones, so I suppose I best look into it. I know I haven't really described External Menace too much other than saying they're fucking awesome, but just fucking click the link in the description and listen to this record. It's fucking sick. Believe me, that's all I got. That's my whole E section of UK82 singles and shit. I hope you enjoyed our return to the UK82 series, man. We'll do it again sometime. I ain't trying to do this shit like every week. I'll mix it up and fucking sometime in the future we'll do the next episode of this one, but there's plenty of other shit to talk about. There's bits and pieces of our collection and genres and shit that we've never even fucked around with yet. So stick around and catch whatever the fuck we do next time. Another week or 2 I'll pop back up again. I don't know, keep your eyes peeled. Be well, be cool to each other. Don't be a fucking asshole. There's too many assholes out there. Just be cool, baby. Come on, baby, be cool.